Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Kelsey. Thank you so much for joining me today. Today I'm going to be showing you my makeup focus for the next 2 months or so. So actually 2 months ago now, I did a makeup focus video where I kind of showed you some products that I was wanting to work on and put some use into. But there was no really rhyme or reason to it. I wasn't kind of showing you everything. I was just showing you a little bit here and there. And on that video, I feel like I got a lot of comments asking to see more of my makeup collection and my vanity and all about that kind of stuff. So I thought I would do, I think every other month, do a makeup focus video, and I will show you everything that will be in reach, stuff that I'm going to be using daily, or I mean maybe not, I can't use everything daily, but the stuff that's going to be available to me daily. And then as well I'll show you just a quick peek at the stuff that I'm not going to be using, that I have kind of put away for right now. I hope that makes sense. I am excited to get into this. I love watching these kind of videos, so I thought it'd be super fun to get more of a rotation on this and kind of get a system in place. So before I get started and show you the stuff I'm using, I thought I would kind of show you my plan with this and what I'm thinking of doing. So just as is, I kind of have a little bit of a setup in place right now. Even before I even thought about shooting this video, I had a little bit of a setup in place. As you can see behind me, my vanity, I have 2 drawers on either side, as well as this top portion flips up and you've got a big compartment in there. And then I have some stuff on top of my vanity. So my thought is, one of these drawers is going to be definitely stuff that I use all the time because it has my face products in it. The other drawer is kind of overflow of eye products. It's stuff that I want to be able to use, but stuff I'm not going to be using all the time. On the top portion here, I have my brushes and some face products. So I have some facial sprays and some primers, and then I have a bunch of eyeshadow palettes and a few face palettes. And then underneath, like I said, this big compartment under my vanity is going to have everything that I'm kind of putting away for right now. Stuff that's not products that I'm wanting to use right now. Maybe because it's the wrong color for me right now, or I just want to focus on something else. And then on this side, you can kind of see here, I've got some lip products in the back, more lipsticks. Then I have a little bin of lip products, liquid lipsticks and lip pencils and stuff. And then this is all of my eye stuff, and again we'll get into this more, but I just wanted to give you a brief overview of where we're going. And then I also have this really cute pink dish here that goes on top of my vanity, and I'm gonna put new products here. So throughout this next 2 months or however long it ends up being until I do this video again, I'm going to be putting new products in here, whether it's something I get from BoxyCharm, whether it's something I'm just picking up on my on my own, and I'm going to put it in here, kind of be using it a little bit and then determine where I want to put it. Then I'll have an idea of the new stuff that's coming into my collection, and I can kind of tell you about it in the next video that we do like this. Without further ado, let's just jump in and I'll show you some makeup. So this is my vanity. I feel like I've showed my vanity a few times. This is a custom vanity, meaning that I actually refinished this vanity. So I bought this, actually I got this for free off of someone on Craigslist or something, and I got it for free and started refinishing it. It was a long project, but I do love it. I've actually been thinking about repainting it lately. It's a minty green, if you can't tell. Kind of a cross between a mint green and a pistachio color. And I've been thinking about doing it something else. I don't know. It was black when I got it, and I didn't hate the black, but it was in rough shape. So like I said, I've got the 2 drawers. I have one on this side and one on this side. And then I've got the bin on top, as well as those lipsticks and stuff over there, and then my little pink plate that I'm going to be using to put new products in. Oh, also at the base of my light over here, I have a few things. I've got some Q-tips back in that blue little bottle. I've got some body sprays and perfumes, And then I have a little jewelry holder and then some moisturizers. Nothing super exciting, but just thought I'd let you know. Let's get started on this drawer here. So this is my face drawer. So it's got a ton of face products in it, and it's definitely a drawer that I use every single day. So starting in this back area here, I don't want the drawer to fall all the way out. I have a little mirror, like a little compact mirror back here. Nothing exciting. In this back area, I have a powder I'm trying to finish up. It's from Essence, and it's just like a setting powder. And I have a few setting powders, but I just kept this one out because it's got the littlest, tiniest bit left, and I just want to finish it. I also have a foundation back there. It's from Maybelline. It's the Dream Matte Mousse Foundation. And I kind of forgot I had this, so I pulled it out of my drawer there, and I'm hoping to get some use out of it. And then here I have two powders. This one is from LA Girl. It's the Pro Face Powder. I use this pretty much exclusively for touching up like throughout the day. So like in the afternoon, if I'm wanting to touch up, I will just kind of blot my face a little bit and then put this on. It's a little bit dark for my skin, but I do enjoy it. And then I have my favorite powder ever, the Glossier Wowder. I mean, well, maybe not ever, but like my current favorite. I love it. I have another powder. This is the Bare Minerals Matte Foundation. I love this stuff. I can't live without it. It's probably my favorite foundation ever. I also have the concealer, but this is in the shade Summer Bisque, and it is a little bit dark for my skin during the winter, but going into summer and recently, it's been pretty good. I have a few concealers. I have the Catrice Liquid Camouflage Concealer. This is a little bit of a newer one to me, but I love it so much. And then I'm using the LA Girl Pro Conceal. And I've used this one for a little while now. This is in the shade Porcelain, which is the lightest shade it comes in. And I feel like it's not that light. Like, I don't have the lightest skin on earth, and this is a good fit for me. So I don't know, their shade range is weird. I did forget this concealer. This is from Glossier. It's the Stretch Concealer. This is in the shade Light. I do love this stuff. I do have a few primers in this drawer as well. This is the Pixie by Petra Flawless and Poreless Primer. This is just like a little sample size. I do like it. It's almost out though, so I'm kind of wanting to finish it up here in the next like 2 months or so. And then I also have this one from Dr. Brandt. It's the Pores No More Luminizer Primer. And this one is kind of what it says. It's a luminizer, but it's also like pore filling, and so I do enjoy this. I had this kind of tucked away for a little while, so I thought I'd bring it out now that it's getting nice and warm and I want a nice luminous look. Liquid foundations. The first one is from number 7. It's the Beautifully Matte Foundation, and this one does have some SPF in it. This one I've had for a little while, but I haven't been using it all that frequently because it's a little bit dark, but it is really nice to mix. I'm kind of looking forward to using this summer as I'm looking for like a more matte foundation sometimes. I think this would be a great one maybe to use by itself or to mix it if it's a little dark. I also have the IT Cosmetics Your Skin But Better CC Plus Color Correcting Full Coverage Cream and Anti-Aging Hydrating Serum. That is a long name, but it is well deserved. I love this. I've had this for a little over a month now, and I just really, really enjoy it. I do have it in the lightest shade, Fair, and it's borderline too light for me now, so maybe this would be a good one to mix in with that number 7 foundation. But this looks so good on the skin. So happy I have this. I also have this Wet n Wild Photo Focus Foundation. This is in the shade Nude Ivory, which is the light neutral shade. This is a solid foundation, especially for the drugstore. I think it's like $5, $5.99 maybe. It's a great foundation. I love it. This one's almost gone and I'm really sad. Moving on to more of like the color products in here. I have this blush duo. This is from Pacifica. The label is pretty much totally gone, but I do really enjoy this. It has a mirror on the back, which makes, ooh, that's really dirty if we're gonna turn that around. But I love having this around because I use it for a mirror in the morning. I love this shade, obviously, as you can tell. This one's nice too, but this one is just perfect. I have quite a few bronzing products. This first one is from Bare Minerals, and it's the Warmth color something, all over face color. I love this. I've used this for years, and again, this was something that I kind of had tucked away over the last little while, so I thought it'd be really great to bring it out again and try and get some use now that it's summer. It's kind of scary looking because it's like so dark looking, but it's beautiful. It looks great on the skin, so I'm excited to use this a bit more. I also have been trying this guy out a little bit lately. This is from Catrice. It's the Prime and Fine Professional Contouring Palette. I do enjoy this contour shade. It's pretty nice for my skin tone, and I actually really enjoy the highlight color. I feel like I've heard a lot of people say they didn't really like it, but I love it. And I have it in the shade 10 or 010 Ashy Radiance. Another like contouring product is from Wet n Wild. It's the Mega Glow Contouring Palette, and I have it in the shade Dulce de Leche. This is something that I had used forever and ever, and well, not forever and ever because it hasn't been out that long, but I used quite a few of them, especially for this like this light colored shade. I probably went through 3 of these and then kind of just gave up on it because I wasn't ever going through this side, but recently I thought it'd be nice to pick this up again. I do really enjoy it, and the powders are so silky smooth. Last bronzer in here is from Essence, and it's the Sun Club Matte Bronzing Powder, and this is the lighter skin shade. I picked this up a little while ago, and I do use it pretty frequently. It looks pretty nice on the skin. I do really like it. Moving on to blushes, I have quite a few that I really enjoy. This product is also from Essence. It's the Satin Touch Blush, and I have it in the shade 10 Satin Coral. It's a beautiful blush. Corally color, slight shimmer to it, but nothing too over the top. And it's just such a nice color. It looks great, especially for spring and summer. Absolutely love it. Another little blush from Tarte. This is in the shade Party. This was like the little Sephora birthday gift from last year. It's such a nice, beautiful color. As you can tell, I've used up a lot of it. This is definitely gone back and forth as being like my everyday blush for quite a while. A new one to me is this little mini guy from NARS. I got this from, Ulta. I got this from Ulta this year for my birthday. And it's in the shade Orgasm, which is like their most popular blush ever. Everybody uses this, or at one point everyone did. It is really pretty. It's like a nice corally golden color. It's definitely got some shimmer to it. It's almost like a little too shimmery for me, actually. It can add some texture to your skin, but it is really pretty. Another blush I love is from Pretty Vulgar. It's this hot pink color. It's the Make Them Blush in Prim Vixen. This was from BoxyCharm a few months ago, and I was terribly afraid of it when I first got it, but I actually really enjoy it. I have to use a little bit of a light hand, but it's just so pretty and adds just the nicest flush of pink to the cheeks. I also have a blush palette. This is from e.l.f. It's the blush palette in Light. This one's actually probably my favorite in this palette. I actually combine these two a lot, but it's kind of more on like the mauve-y, berry side. Really pretty. This one is from Pure. It's the Bronze and Brighten face palette, and it has 3 shades. This is another one from BoxyCharm. I could actually care less about the blush and the bronzer. Like, those are way too shimmery for me to use as a blush or a bronzer, but the highlight is so pretty. I love it. I'm gonna show you a swatch because it's so pretty and like golden and shiny. A few small little highlights. This is a little sample size from Ipsy, and it's the Urban Decay Afterglow Highlight in the shade Sin. They recently came out with a whole face palette that was called Sin, and it had this highlight in it, and I was kind of tempted because I love this highlight. This is probably one of my favorite highlights I own, but like, this is just a sample size, and I've literally had this for probably almost a year now, if not a year, and I've made a pretty big dent in it, but I tried to use this. Like, I was trying to use this up at the end of last year. I put it in like a project pan, but I just couldn't. I used it literally every day. I still use it at least once a week now, once or twice a week, because it's just so pretty, but I would never go through a full size, so I figured I'm good with this one. Another what I use as highlight from Bare Minerals, it's an eyeshadow, and it's in the shade BFF, and it's just like such a pretty, like, pearly color. It's kind of pinky, kind of nude, but it's just so pretty. The last highlight I have in this drawer is from Tarte, and it's a liquid highlight. It's the Tarteist Pro Glow, and I have it in the shade Exposed. This is another BoxyCharm product I got a few months ago, and I haven't honestly used it all that much, but it is a really pretty color, and I'd like to get some more use out of it now that it's summer, and I feel like I could just really enjoy this now. Moving on top of my vanity, I have my brushes in this little bin here, and I actually have a few more in my bathroom right now because I just washed my brushes. I have a few Bare Minerals brushes down here that I love. I've got a chapstick, and then here's where we get to the makeup. This is kind of weird to have out. I have a little sponge too. I just kind of put it on top of anything that it will fit on because I don't have a great space for it. I'll put it in the little pink bowl. I have this setting spray from Wet n Wild. The package has kind of like come off. It's the matte finish setting spray, but I do enjoy this. I also have this is more of, I mean, like a facial spray, not really like a setting spray. This is from Trader Joe's, and it's the Rose Water Facial Toner, and it's supposed to hydrate and refresh. I go back and forth between this and the Wet n Wild one depending on what kind of look I want. This is like my everyday go-to setting spray. But then the Wet n Wild one I use if I'm kind of gonna have a long day and I want to make sure my makeup stays in place, or if I'm doing something that's more matte. But this one I use way more often. I have two primers up here. The first one is from Bare Minerals. Maybe you're seeing a theme around here. I do really enjoy Bare Minerals. This is the Prime Time Original Foundation Primer, and I love this. I've had this before, but I got this one for Christmas, and I use it. This is like my everyday foundation primer. I also have this one from Cover FX. This one was from BoxyCharm. This one was actually just from this last month, in the month of May, and it's the Blurring Primer, and I love this. This stuff is really nice. This is really nice. It's definitely like a pore filling primer, but it just looks really nice on the skin. And then way up top here, you can see I've got the ColourPop Take Me Home palette. I just talked about this in my monthly favorites for this last month. I really enjoy this palette. I got this earlier in May. It's just like such a simple, neutral, kind of warm eyeshadow palette that's not super overwhelming with a bunch of colors, but I really like it. I also have this one from Wet n Wild. This is definitely something that I have been enjoying a lot over the last few months. This is the Rosé in the Air eyeshadow palette. It's supposed to be like a dupe for the Modern Renaissance palette, which I do have that as well, but if you notice, it's not up here in my daily stuff, and so this is taking its spot right now just because I really enjoy this. I did pull this one up top for this month and 2 months or whatever. This is from Milani, and it's the Everyday Eyes in the shade 05 Earthy Elements. I love this palette. These colors are so beautiful. Actually, this is the only palette I've had from Milani. This is one of the only products I have from Milani, but it's just so nice. They look beautiful on the eyes. They blend so well, and they're super pigmented. I love this. This is an oldie but a goodie. This is from Wet n Wild. This is their old eyeshadow format. This is the Comfort Zone palette they have since reformulated it or like repackaged it to the other palette like this. But this only has 8 pans where the new one has 10, and so they've added 2 matte transition shades, which I was very tempted to buy. But I already have the Comfort Zone palette and I also have a lot of matte transition shades, so I didn't need it. But this is a classic. I used to use this a lot and I haven't used it recently, so I thought it'd be nice to put up top and maybe try and get some cute looks out of. This is another one that was from BoxyCharm this month. This is the Pure Sculptor palette. We have 2 contour shades and 2 highlight shades. I honestly haven't gotten a ton of use out of this yet. This bottom contour shade is pretty dark. This one can make me look a little muddy, and then these 2 highlights are pretty, but they're honestly pretty similar. So I wanted to keep this up here, get a little more use out of it, get some more thoughts on it. Geez, another few BoxyCharm items actually. This is the Glam Metals palette from Crown. This was quite a few months ago we got this. And it's all metallics, but they're like neutral metallics, and I honestly haven't used this a ton. I know there's a few shades in here that I really like. This one's super pretty. This is actually probably my favorite color in the palette. It's Pop Rock, and it's kind of like a champagne color, but a little bit grungier. I know the Wild Thing shade, it looks pretty, but it doesn't go so well, and so I wanted to get some more use out of this. Try and do some more metallic looks. Another all metallic shade, also from BoxyCharm. I have the ColourPop Golden State of Mind palette. And this one is super pretty as well. But again, it's all metallics. And I honestly don't typically use a ton of metallics. I'll usually maybe use like 1 shade like a few times a week. And I never use more than 1 shade. So I thought it'd be fun to mess around with this one a little bit more. I do have some favorites. This one in the middle, which looks super boring, but it's kind of like a white color and it has like a pink shift to it. Super pretty, but I want to get more use out of this. I want to try and use this a bit more these next few months. Again, with the BoxyCharm, this is the BoxyCharm and Pure palette. It was like a collaboration, and this is what the palette looks like. It wasn't like my super favorite palette ever, and I feel like a lot of people have said that they didn't like it a ton. I can still get some pretty good looks on it, and I really enjoy these like peachy orange shades up here, so I thought it'd be really nice to have around now going into spring and try and get some more looks out of this. The next palette is one of my favorite palettes of all time. It's the Morphe and Kathleen Lights palette. This has been out for, geez, a year and a half now. I got this when it first came out. It's got some beautiful colors here. You've got a shimmer, a matte, some like nice neutral kind of transition shades. I love this like a mustardy yellow color. I love these like reds. These metallics up here are beautiful. You've got a nice black. And then you also have a few cool tones over here. So you've got like a matte gray, this really pretty like kind of greenish metallic color. I really like this color. I haven't done much with that color, but I actually have been trying to use this palette a bunch this year. So I never really started a project pan for 2018. And I said that I was going to do like a little bit of a pan that palette with this palette specifically. Not that I want to like hit pan on all the shades, but I want to try and use this quite a bit and get some looks out of it. I haven't done any videos about that yet, so be on the lookout for that. I was planning on doing one kind of like halfway through the year, which we're just about there now. And the last palette up here is from Physicians Formula. It's the Butter Collection palette, and I have this in light medium. I love this. I can't stop using it. Oh, I should take this out so I can actually use it. But this is honestly so beautiful. I had never used any of the Butter Formula stuff before, and I just can't stop using it now. Now that I have it and I like have used it, some of the only product I want to use on my face. It's so pretty. The bronzer is in the shade Bronzer. The blush is in the shade Natural Glow, and then you have 2 highlights, one in the shade Full Moon and one in the shade Galactic. The Galactic one I don't use all that often, but it does look really pretty on the eyes. It just makes my skin tone, if I use it like on my face, kind of just makes it look a little ashy. But I do love this palette, so beautiful. If you're able to still find this, which I feel like you're not able to anymore, I would totally buy this if you see this. They sold this at Walmart or on Physicians Formula's website, but I want to say it's all gone, unfortunately. But this is so beautiful. Oh, and I do have one more palette back here. I always have it on my vanity because it's the most giant palette ever. One of my sisters got this for me for Christmas, and there's just nowhere else I can put it. But I do really enjoy this. This is from Morphe, and it's the Dare to Create palette. It was like a limited edition eyeshadow palette kind of back at Christmas time. But I can't even fit it all in frame. Take a look at these shades. So beautiful. I did a whole palette week series on this where I did a different look with this palette every day of the week. I will link that above, but it's just so pretty. I love this palette. I don't use it as often as I should anymore. Alright, so I needed to cut this video off right here because we are getting so very long. So I'm going to split this into 2 videos. Today's video was covering like my face products and then stuff that was on top of my vanity here. And then I'm going to upload the rest of the video tomorrow. I did not realize how long I had been filming for. I had been filming for like 2.5 hours, and that was ridiculous. I feel like I'm having a hard time like cutting it back. I don't know. I feel like I've watched a ton of these videos and I feel like they always have like a nice description on things and like we'll talk about each product. And I'm just like, how do you get through all of these products so fast? Because I'm failing. My hair looks real weird today. So tomorrow I'll be uploading the rest of my makeup focus slash like collection video, and I hope that works okay. 2 videos in one, kind of. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for joining me, and make sure to stick around for tomorrow's video where I will be going through my eye products, my lip products, and like some palettes and just more fun things. So stay tuned for that. And again, thank you so much for watching this video today. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day. And until next time, bye guys.